Welcome to watching Krishi Television. National Prosperity Economic Reform, only one Krishi Television. Our concern, land and agriculture is our concern, only one Krishi Television. Today our invited guest is Dr. Sujata Tamang. She is playing the very dimension role in agriculture sector. She is alliance agriculture alliance for coordinator of the MAOR program coordinator, and she has so many experience. She playing the many in dimension role in this sector. So we are inviting her in our program. Dr. Sujata Tamang, welcome you.
Thank you.
First of all, I want to request your Food for Agriculture Alliance introduction briefly.
Okay, thank you. As Donji already mentioned about Alliance of Agriculture for Food, I am one of the coordinating members of the Alliance. We have coordinating team, and the current coordinator is Mr. Udap Adhikari, who is not here today. So I'm based in Forest Action Nepal, which provides secretariat service to Alliance of Agriculture for Food at the moment, and we have a team at Forest Action who provides a secretariat service to Alliance of Agriculture for Food. This alliance is a loose network of producer farmers, CSOs, individual farmers, individuals who are more concerned about the issues of land, climate change, food, agriculture in Nepal. As mentioned earlier, it's a loose network, so we don't have fixed membership. It's based on loose membership, and based on the issues we gather together and we raise the concern. So our primary motive, you can already guess from the name itself, that we are trying to raise the voices of, amplifying the voices of smallholder farmers, because they are the majority of our farmers in Nepal are smallholders, and we are trying to raise the issue that helps them to provide appropriate services, supports to them. And then again, coming into the name itself, we are advocating for producing food for ourselves first, and then only we can go for other purposes. But our primary value is that we do our farming, our agriculture for ourselves, so that it will be safe, it will be feeding ourselves, it will not only targeted for market, because when it comes into market, then there will be other issues, like it comes into use of pesticides and chemicals, and then it also involves commissions, profit. Then the orientation becomes a bit different than what we aspire for, because we want everyone to have enough food, but also safe, chemical-free, pesticide-free, and also, if possible, locally produced and appropriate to local localities, local culture. That's our primary values, that we are together.
Yeah, you have so many experience about the agriculture. Not only agriculture, you prepared so many reports and documents to recommend for the government for your in your coordination. All are know about the that's your deed of your important work, and how seeming you the agriculture in this time. what are the situation now Nepalese agriculture sector? It's my question.
Okay. So again, going back to Alliance of Agriculture for Food, we mobilize agriculture alliance, and we are doing major work such as policy research, advocacy and lobbying, networking and mobilization, and capacity building. So we will be conducting based on the issues that's raised from the in the agriculture sector. Then we do this kind of works. So as I can see, or I can observe what's our agriculture sector is facing now is, I think there are a few major problems or issues. For example, there is socio-economic changes, because people are not getting as much as income and employment opportunities within agriculture itself. Or we can say that in other ways, people are not much attracted to agriculture based economy or agriculture based employment. Other thing environmentally, as globally we are facing, Nepal is also facing is adverse impact of climate change. We have seen other associated problems such as erratic rainfalls, temperature rising, and many other environmental issues related to climate change and other environmental problems. We are also we can see that we are also facing lots of challenges related to haphazard use of chemicals and pesticides that is ruining the health of soil, health of people. So and then that's also creating so many health problems, especially non-communicable diseases among people. So that's also another issues related to agriculture sector. Other thing is, day by day we have seen that food import is increasing. It might have other causes as well, but then it's also because so that's one of the problem. Other thing associated with people not being that much attracted to agriculture sector. People are leaving agriculture based livelihoods. They are diversifying to other employment opportunities. So many people are moving to cities, moving to abroad, or they are also leaving agricultural land. So much of lands are being underutilized. Even one of the study that our team earlier conducted in Lomjung, it indicates that more than 35% of agricultural land is underutilized. So that's also another problem. And associated with that, that I'm more concerned about is more and more women are engaged. Women's role in agriculture sector is increased. But I would again like to highlight that roles within the agriculture is increased for women, but then there is questions on other sectors. So agriculture works, not the agriculture sector itself, but agriculture works is being feminized. That's also one of the issues I can see in Nepalese agriculture. Other thing, so many people have recently mentioned, and even the reports came that increasingly there are wildlife attack to agriculture. That's also, I think, another problem, especially of monkeys. I think these are the few problems that I can highlight.
Thank you very much for your answer. Long time you are raising the voice for the farmer. Agriculture is very poor agriculture in this time. Poor agriculture, too poor agriculture, and agriculture in the future. How to make the roadmap? How to prepare the roadmap? Our agriculture appropriate and good agriculture and for futurist agriculture.
So if I understood your question, I'm again starting with the problems that we are facing in terms of agriculture. So we are losing agrobiodiversity or overall biodiversity day by day because of so many of our actions. We are losing quality of soil because we are using lots of chemicals and pesticides because we want to produce more and we want to produce for the market, or we want to have more profit. So we are also impacting on human health, but not only human health but also on environment. So in this context, and then additionally there are also other global issues, for example, because of the access to information, people by nature, of course, they want to explore other places, other things, other areas, so we cannot really easily stop them by exploring and going out. But then it's also connected with what kind of agriculture system or agriculture based employment or other employment we are creating within our country. That also makes I think difference. So based on that, the roadmap, as you said, or the type of agriculture framework that we might have to think about on my recommendation or on my perspective is that as I already said about the Alliance of Agriculture for Food, we are focusing on producing firstly for ourselves. So it's about the basic framework of agriculture, whether we want to produce to feed for our people, or we want to send it to market, or we want to export to international market. So in my view, we can firstly we have to feed produce for ourselves, we feed for ourselves first, and then we can also think about exporting because it's about bringing in money. But then if we want to export or produce for market and commercial values, then considering the limited resources we have in Nepal, because we have around 30% agricultural land and then 45% of forest resources, because we have limited resources, and that's the only thing we have, main thing we have. So considering those like kind of limitation, we can still export our produce. We can produce for exporting, but then we have to consider about produces that comes with comparative advantage, because that can bring premium value. And for the general agricultural produce, we cannot compete with other countries, or we cannot compete in global market, because we can take example of India and China. For the same thing, they have subsidies, they have infrastructure, so they can produce same thing in cheap like investment, so we cannot compete with them. So if we still want to export or sell in the global market, then we have to focus on producing produce with comparative advantage. Other thing, and I think most important thing, is because we are facing issues of problems of climate change, environmental crisis, so we have to develop our farming system, or we have to do the farming practices that is responsive to such challenges. So it means it should be sustainable, it should not harm the environment, it should not harm soil, it should not harm our people, and then and most importantly, we should be doing the farming practices that is based on local resources, because when we are dependent on outside input, then it becomes expensive, and then based on the it not only increases the investment, but also makes the impacts on environment, other things, because chemicals, pesticides, that are the things that we bring from outside. But then, for example, fertilizers, farmers can make within their households. So it should be based on sustainable way. So it should be based on local resources, so that it will respond on climate change issues. It will respond on environmental challenges that we are facing, but at the same time it will also be appropriate to majority of smallholder farmers, especially women who have limited resources, who have like local knowledge is related to farming they are doing for ages. So it should be more based on sustainable practices, agroecological principles. I think that's the way we have to consider.
Yeah, thank you very much. Our agriculture is a common problem. So we are talking about the agriculture relevant question and answer. Now I would like to ask you, the government and farmers organization. So there is a concerning with the political party. They have the farming organization. So I think that's have you coordination or not with the other farmers organization?
While working within the Secretariat of Alliance of Agriculture for Food, obviously we are closely working with farmers organizations, and some of the farmers associations, they are also member. So we are together, and then we are together raising the voices, and then we are creating pressure, especially to political parties, policy makers, governments, so that it will be supportive to these majority of smallholders, including farmers associations. So we are trying to make the voice bigger and then amplify it, so that policymakers, governments, and political parties, they will be sensitized to devise the programs and like programs, budgets, everything oriented to those majority of smallholder farmers.
And agriculture farmers, what kind of role now playing, and what is their role? What will be their role in the agriculture, and just like All Nepal Peasant Association, there are so many agriculture organization concerned with the political party, but sometimes political party calls when they while this government joining and they will be quiet, they sit quiet, and but now after the out of the government, they again raise the voice. Sometimes it is our countries common type of our agricultural program. So what can do we, how to them coordination, and other is the organization is some of the organization is non-government type organization. They have limited the power, they have limited the voice. They cannot told about like the political organization. So I think that how to coordinate them in this context, in our agriculture problem sector, how to solve its?
I think you coming into farmers association related to political parties. I don't think I'm in a position that I can really comment on how they are doing, because there are several, and then maybe some of them are doing well, but then only one thing I can wish or I can comment on is that I hope these representatives, because it's based on political parties and political values that they carry. So I wish they are, I hope they are doing, they are the true representative of farmers, and they are really concerned about the majority of smallholder farmers that they are working, they are aspired to work for. But then as you were also mentioning about the coordinating among them or coordination by them, so on that matter I think it's quite political question, but I think it's about the principle and values that the political parties they are affiliated have carried out. So it based on it depends on what the political party leader or political party itself sees or are how much they are concerned about the issues of local farmers, smallholder farmers. Then it will guide these kind of political party affiliated farmers organization as well. And then you also mentioned about NGOs and farmers. So in terms of NGOs, obviously I'm also part of the NGO, so we obviously have to depend on some of the funding, so we do have some kind of limitation, but at the same time we can, it's also about how much out of that opportunities or scope you have, how much you can really devote for farmers well-being or farmers issues. So that's why we kind of we do some kind of limitation within NGO. That's why we were working with the individual farmers, some of the CSOs and NGOs who can also, without having NGO identity or without having any political parties affiliation, who can independently raise the voices. That's how we came up with the idea of initiating an Alliance of Agriculture for Food. So it's about a movement, it's about a network, so anyone can lead it, or anyone can be part of that. So coming into farmers themselves, I think it's more about they are already doing well with limited support or inadequate support and services from government sides, and even especially from government side, they are already doing well, because they are still with like engaged in agriculture, even though they have limited support, subsidies, because without support and subsidies agriculture itself cannot produce lots of profit. So it should be in a way somehow should be subsidized or should be supported. So they are already doing really good, but maybe one suggestion I could put is that farmers themselves can gather together, not really waiting for someone from outside and coming and asking them what to do, because they know they have the skills, they have the knowledge, they have been doing agriculture for several years, so they can share among farmers, they can learn from each other. They can have collective voices, they can work collectively, so that then even if someone from outside like government or non-government agencies want to support them, they can and then they will be like easily coming, like bringing supports in.
Yeah, it is very important answer. Dr. Sujata, madam, I want to ask one questions about the implementation sector. That's the put the very meaningful role. I think you have so many experience about the agriculture sector and government sector. You have involving so many times that those of the program. I want to ask this question. Government sector, how much implementing the farmers bills, farmers relevant regulation, and farmers like act, and how much do you feeling the implementation in effective? I think it my
I think even without having so many years of experience, we can easily say that not only in agriculture sector, but even in other sectors, effective implementation is a huge problem, because there are quite nice plans, good plans, coming into agriculture. There are good agriculture plans, agriculture bills, different rules and regulation, acts, but then when it comes into implementation, it's not effectively implemented.
Not sufficient.
So I think there could be several issues related to not being able to implement it effectively, and then I think first thing is because we usually make these kind of plans and acts and regulations without adequate engagement of farmers, because they are the one who are engaged in day-to-day practices, and they know the real issues. So usually they are not adequately engaged, and mostly it's prepared with like big people or people with higher educated people or bureaucracy. So I think that's one of the things. And other thing is, I think, quite loose monitoring and evaluation, because when we don't really effectively monitor, then people tend to work accordingly. So even being a farmer, if you know that, I think that's another problem. Again, to conclude that implementation is quite a big challenge. It's not being effectively implemented.
Farmers calls, we have to facilitate. We are not facilitated from the government, and we have so many difficulties. Sometimes farmers calls, we are very too much problem. They think, and sometimes they cover them the like natural disaster, and like swine flu, and like many disaster facing they are facing. At that times, insurance sectors, how many effective have you seen insurance from insurance rules sector? Have you seen or hearing about that?
So I think the point is about farmers often saying that they are not being able to get adequate support, subsidies, like support system or services or extension services. So we also often hear from farmers saying that because the extension services that government like currently have, whether it's adequate to reach each and every households, every farming households, it's obviously not. And then people, as you said, also farmers often complain about natural disasters, and then diseases, pests, and then insurance related with that. I think it's also related about not having adequate, weather forecasting or other forecasting mechanisms, because then it would have been prepared farmers to act or prepare accordingly. Because let's say if they could get timely weather forecast or timely, in face that kind of information, then they will obviously prepare for that. And again, about insurance and subsidy, firstly, obviously we have also analyzed the programs, like policy relevant documents and programs, and we can say that insurance and subsidies are firstly not adequate, but then secondly it's also about where is it going, whether the real farmer is getting it. Not being adequate is first problem, but then secondly it's about who gets it, whether the elite farmers get it, big farmers get it, or small farmer gets it. But then again, coming on to farmers, usually it's male farmers, so and so usually women farmers are getting even less services and facilities. But then again, even within women there are several categories that I don't think we will have time to discuss on it, but then it's about not having adequate supports and services from government itself. So that's the reality.
Madam, we are going to ending. Farmers, so many problems. They have so many problems. At that, in the categorize of the their problem, and what the problem they have. I think that they have the major problem. Which is thing how to solve the in current major problem. How do we can solve at that the problem, and farmers measures problem. How are you defining it? How is you seeing at that the major problem?
So, for example, imagining a smallholder farmer or a farming family. We know that they are not getting adequate supports and services. That's the reality, as I said earlier. But then what they can do is, first thing, obviously they have to generate income from the farming they are doing, because it's their profession. But then they can consider, first thing is, first they produce for themselves. Second, even if they produce, it's better not to go on single crop, because doing single crop means increasing the risks, because we don't have that kind of like weather forecasting or other disease like we don't that kind of information. So it's increasing the risk. So if when it's more about integrated farming or integrated crops, they will have less risks. So that's another thing I think they can consider. Second, we should not really wait for the like inputs from outside. If possible, we can make the fertilizer ourselves. So many farmers even now are doing. They can make their compost, they can make use their manures from the livestock they have. And then other thing is about, I think, seeds, because now we are losing so many local seeds. And then we are completely dependent on hybrid seeds and outside companies. So it's better to save our seeds, share among other farmers, so that we won't be that dependent. And then other thing is also about what I see important is on being together among farmers and raise their voices, because when they are together, the voices can be easily heard by the governments, policymakers, whoever, that they have to listen to them and provide services to. But the most importantly and last thing is that we do have we are getting lots of environmental and climate change related problems. So they are the one who can solve this program, because they have the knowledge, they have the skills, they have been practicing. So they can practice the local farming practices that they have been doing, that can also respond to climate related, that can be more responsive to climate change related issues as well. And then personally I would again suggest that chemicals and pesticides, it's not the solution. So at any point of time we have to come back to the sustainable practices, agroecological practices, to save ourselves, to save soil and to save environment.
Nepal is an agricultural country, and we are mainly the agricultural country. We are growing the agriculture more than more, healthy production, better food, and so Nepal, how to make our country through the agriculture prosperity, from the agriculture prosperity, and how to make the rich country through the agriculture, and through the economic prosperity through the agriculture. It's my last question for you.
I think for me, being rich in terms of economic values, that's one stream, while and then if we want to go on that line, as I previously mentioned, that we have to consider, or we have to focus on produces that is that comes with comparative advantage, because we have limited resources, limited natural resources. We have limited agricultural land, limited forests. So we have to use those limited resources and produce. So in that sense, we have to focus on producing comparative advantage produces. But then I also see values, or being rich means I can also see other ways that if we are able to feed our people, if we are able to feed food that is safe, that is grown more sustainably, that doesn't harm soil, that does not harm the process of producing food does not harm the soil, does not harm the environment, then that's also, I think, being prosper or being rich, because it's not only about money. Because if we have enough money but then we cannot have the good food or healthy food or safe food, then what's the point of being rich? So I think that's two lines of thoughts. So I think I was able to
thank you very much giving us your valuable time. You came here, and so many important thought you giving us, and for our agriculture television, and for our watching the agriculture television, Kersi television. So I would like to thank first of all you Thank you very much, Sujata Madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.